There is a skillet propping open a shed door about 40 minutes from where I'm standing. Rusted the color of an old brick, sitting in the dirt, doing the job of a cinder block. The woman who owns that shed already sent 3 skillets just like it to the scrapyard at 11 cents a pound. I have not knocked on her door, and I'll tell you why at the end of this video. I know that shed. Sagging door, gravel path, a coffee can of bent nails on the sill. There is a whole class of iron living outside like that all over this country, holding doors, weighting down tarps, catching drips under a tractor. The scrap price on cast iron sits around a dime a pound. A 10-pound skillet is $1. That is the entire reason the good ones disappear. Not greed, just arithmetic done by somebody who was never told there was another number. 40 years of estate sales and farm auctions across the Ohio Valley, cast iron is the one thing I never walk past. Today I'm counting down 10 cast iron skillets sitting in barns and cellars right now. And I'm going to give you 3 questions you can answer in about 10 seconds, holding the skillet, before you know a single brand name. Before we start, tell me in the comments where you're watching from and whether there's cast iron in your family that nobody uses. I read every one. One of those size numbers turned a $60 barn find into a $3,300 sale. I'll show you the digit before we reach number 1. The honest part first, same as always. Most old cast iron is a $30 to $80 pan. Out of 100 pieces that come across a farm sale, 80 are common, worn, or cracked. 10 will land in the low hundreds. A small handful climb past that, and one in a very long while is the pan that makes the whole year. Not every pan is worth money. Most of them are not. But the ones that are worth real money look exactly like the ones that aren't. And that is the entire problem. It is also why the scrap man is doing so well. Rare is rare, but rare is also sitting in a root cellar with a mouse nest in it, which is the difference between this and every other collecting market you have heard of. So, 3 questions, and you answer all 3 before you read a name. 1, is there a slash across the bottom? 2, is there a raised ring circling it? 3, and only then, what does the writing say? Flip the pan over. That is where the whole trade happens, because on cast iron, the maker put his name on the underside, cast right into the iron in raised letters. Question 1. Not a crack, but a raised or filed line, 5 or 6 inches, running across the underside. That is a gate mark. It is the scar from where they poured the molten iron in and broke the tab off. Foundries stopped doing it as casting modernized, so a gate mark generally puts your pan before about 1930, and the earliest ones go back further than that. Question 2. A raised ring circling the bottom is a heat ring. It let the pan sit down into the hole on a wood stovetop so it wouldn't slide. When stoves went modern, the foundries quit spending the iron on it. A heat ring generally means before the 1960s, and on some makers it means considerably earlier. Question 3 is the writing, and it comes last on purpose. The letters tell you who. The slash and the ring already told you when. 2 more things that cost nothing to check. Run your thumb across the inside cooking surface. A new pan feels like fine sandpaper. That is how iron comes out of a sand mold. The old foundries ground and machined that surface until it was slick as glass, because a woman in 1910 would not buy a rough pan. That step cost labor, and one by one the American foundries quit doing it. A glassy inside is an old inside, and if the pan says "Made in USA," it is almost certainly after 1960. That is when country of origin marking came in, and that one line eliminates half the pile in a second. One warning about the numbers. The size number cast into a pan has nothing to do with inches. It matched the stove hole it sat in, and every company numbered differently. A number 8 is not 8 inches. Hold that thought because it comes back at number 2. All right, let's count. Number 10. The modern pan that says Made in USA. This is the control. It's what is actually in most kitchens. Rough, pebbly cooking surface, no heat ring, country of origin cast right on it, $20 to $50. And there is nothing wrong with that. It's a good pan to cook in, but it is not a find. And knowing that instantly is worth more than it sounds, because it teaches your hand what modern feels like. Once you have felt rough, glassy will stop you. At a farm sale outside Greenfield, they ran a hay wagon of kitchen iron across the block as one lot. $11 for the whole load because the top layer was all modern. People buy the top layer. Your checklist. 1. Read for Made in USA. 2. Feel the cooking surface for sandpaper roughness. 3. Never bid on what's on top of the pile. Number 9 has no name on it at all, and that is exactly why it gets left. Number 9. The unmarked pan with a glassy bottom. No logo, no name, maybe just a number and a letter. Everybody walks past it because they're hunting a name. But the big foundries ran unmarked lines on purpose. They sold the branded pans to the department stores and the exact same iron with the logo left off to the 5 and dime. 2 prices, 1 product. So an unmarked pan is not a no-name pan. It is often a name brand pan in plain clothes. $30 to $80 for a common one, and the well-made early examples climb from there. The tell is the surface and the weight. Set a modern 12-inch pan next to a 1920s 12-inch pan, and the old one feels almost hollow in your hand. They cast them thinner because they knew how. Your checklist. 1. Machined glassy interior. 2. Noticeably light for its size. 3. A size number with no maker name is a reason to look closer, not to walk away. Number 8 is where the names start. Number 8. Wagner Ware, Sidney, O. Without the heat ring. Wagner ran out of Sidney, Ohio, and their logo went through a parade of versions over the decades, which is a gift, because you can date one by reading the bottom. You want to see Wagner Ware in an arc, often with Sidney and a letter O underneath it. This is the later, more common configuration, no heat ring, $50 to $120 depending on size and condition, and the big sizes do better. Your checklist. 1. Wagner Ware in an arc. 2. Look for Sidney with the O. 3. Check whether there is a ring around the bottom, because that is the next item, and it is worth 3 times as much. Number 7. The same Wagner with the heat ring. Same maker, same shape, same logo. One difference, that raised ring circling the underside. And the ring roughly doubles or triples the number. $100 to $300 for a good one, and the large sizes and cleaner examples go past that. This is the single best example of what this channel is about. 2 pans side by side on the same table, same price sticker. One has a ring and one doesn't, and that ring is worth more than everything else on that table. One caution, there is a Wagner logo out there that looks fancy and carries an 1891 date. A number of those are reissues made a century later. A modern pan in a costume. When the casting looks crisp and new and the surface is rough, believe the surface, not the date. Your checklist. 1. Heat ring present all the way around. 2. Full words in block lettering. 3. No country of origin mark. Next is Griswold, where the logo, not the name, changes the price. Number 6. Griswold with the small blocked logo. Griswold ran out of Erie, Pennsylvania from 1865 until the 1950s, and the shape of the logo tells you roughly when a pan was made. The small block is the later, everyday version, and it is what most surviving Griswolds wear, $60 to $200. And that range is what makes it useful. It's common enough that you will actually find one. The other Griswold tell, the one that works when the bottom is unreadable, is the handle. They cast a raised ridge running up the back of it. Once you've felt that ridge, you will never mistake it. 1. The ridge up the back of the handle. 2. Read the logo style, not just the name. 3. Set it on a flat table and push the handle. If it spins, the bottom is bent, and a bent bottom kills it. Quick pause. If you're getting something out of this, hit subscribe. One of these goes out every week, pulled from real barns and auction, and I would rather you catch the one that matches what is sitting in your own cellar. Number 5. Griswold with the large block logo and the word ERIE. This is the earlier generation of the same company. Bigger letters, and the city name cast right into the pan. Pans marked ERIE are the oldest Griswolds, and the lettering is the entire difference between a $50 pan and one in the mid-hundreds on the same piece of iron. $150 to $450 for common sizes in honest shape, and the scarcer configurations go well beyond. Your checklist. 1. Large block lettering. 2. Look for ERIE. 3. Tap the rim and listen. A sound pan rings like a bell. A cracked one thuds. And a crack is not a discount. It's the end. Number 4 is not a skillet at all. Number 4. The specialty pieces, corn stick pans, gem pans, muffin pans. Everybody hunts skillets. Almost nobody hunts the odd shapes, the pan shaped like 7 ears of corn, the heavy muffin pan with 11 cups, the little gem pans. They were made in far smaller numbers because far fewer households bought them, and they got used less, so they survived. But they look like junk to a person cleaning out a kitchen, because they don't look like a frying pan. $100 to $400 for good marked examples, and the scarce patterns climb past that. At an estate near Chillicothe, a corn stick pan was in a box marked free on the driveway, because the family could not identify what it was for. Your checklist. 1. Any cast iron that is not a skillet deserves a second look. 2. Count the cups or the ears, because unusual counts are scarcer. 3. Check the underside for the same maker marks. They're there. Number 3 is the oldest thing in this video. Number 3. Gate-marked pans. Back to question 1. That slash across the bottom means the pan was poured through a gate and the tab broken off, the way iron was cast before the process modernized. That generally puts it before about 1930, and the early ones go back into the 1800s. Most of these carry no maker name at all, because a great many came out of small local foundries that never marked anything, which is exactly why they get scrapped. No name, heavy rust, looks like junk. $150 to $600 depending on size, shape, and condition, and the unusual forms go higher. Your checklist. 1. The slash on the bottom. 2. Look for 3 small legs, because the oldest pieces stood in fireplace coals. 3. Do not scrub it, and we'll get to that. Number 2 is a pan you already know how to spot. You just have to read one digit. Number 2. The odd sizes. Remember the size number that has nothing to do with inches? Here is where it pays. Almost everybody in America bought a number 8 or a number 10, because that's what fit the stove and that's what a family needed. So those are the pans that survive by the thousands, which means the numbers nobody wanted then are the numbers nobody has now. A 2, a 3, a 13, a 14, same maker, same logo, same everything, and a completely different number on the invoice. Mine was buried under 2 ordinary number 8s in a church basement box lot. I paid $60 for the box. A specialist collector paid $3,300 for the number 13. Same iron, same logo. One digit changed the entire deal. The size digit can be worth more than the name. Your checklist. 1. Read the size number, always. And the piece at the top of this list is iron. Almost nobody alive has held. Number 1. The early ERIE spider skillet. Long before the famous name, that foundry cast a small run of skillets with a spider and its web raised on the bottom. Almost nobody bought them. Almost none survived. Good ones have brought 5 figures at auction. I held exactly one at a preview table, and I did not bid because the bidding left the room in a minute. That foundry in Erie, Pennsylvania is the one that became Griswold. The spider pieces come from before the name everybody knows was on the bottom of every pan in America. That is the top of the whole mountain. You can pick barns for a lifetime and never touch one. Your checklist for number 1. 1. A raised spider and web on the underside, crisp and finely detailed. 2. A gate mark, because a genuine one is 19th century iron. 3. Very thin and very light for its size. And the warning that matters most here, that spider has been reproduced. A real one is sharp and finely detailed, with a machined cooking surface. A copy is soft and mushy, and the pan is usually heavy and rough inside. If you think you have one, do not scrub it. Do not sell it at a yard sale, and do not put it in a self-cleaning oven. Photograph it, and take it to somebody who knows. Now the mistakes, and this is where the real money gets lost. Do not take a grinder or a sanding wheel to a skillet. Ever. I watched a man turn a $200 skillet into a $40 skillet in 90 seconds. And rust is not the enemy people think it is. A crack costs you everything, not a discount, everything. Grinding erases the casting detail, and every collector sees it from across a room. The raised letters go soft, the edges go round, and the piece stops being an antique and starts being an old pan. Somebody sanded. Do not soak a rare piece in oven cleaner before you have identified it. Identify first, clean second, never the other way around. Dirt and baked-on grease cost you nothing because those come off. Rust costs you very little. Cracks and a bent bottom are the two that end it. Set the piece on a flat table and push the handle. If it rocks or spins, the bottom moved and the market knows. So, the shed door. I haven't knocked, and here is the honest reason. If I knock, I am one more picker offering a widow $20 for something I already know the value of. I have been that man. I would rather she watch a video like this one and find out on her own terms. The pickers know. The scrap men know. They count on you not knowing, and that is not a conspiracy. It is an information gap, and this video closes it. So tonight, go out to the shed, flip every pan you can find, slash on the bottom, ring around the underside, then read the logo, and run your thumb across the inside before you decide anything. Then come tell me in the comments what you found. I answer every single one, and your skillet might be the one I open. Next week, we go through your grandmother's jewelry box, because the money in there is almost never gold. I'll see you then.